Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Out of ammo, out of time. I'm Krabby Terror 8 and here we are in episode 53 of season 2 of the Investigator Games. Yes, and for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. What is the Investigator Games? Well, it's like a competitive league for the investigators, like the Hunger Games, something like that. We take each investigator true solo through a scenario, and in season 1 that was the Gathering, and in season 2 that is the Midnight Masks. And today marks the end of an era, at least for the moment, because this is the final investigator from the Scarlet Keys, Charlie Kane. So yes, quite a milestone, because until we get another batch of investigators, we will be moving on to season 3, which is, of course, the Devourer Below. And I will have a lot more to say about how the Devourer Below is going to be managed moving forward. I've been backing and forthing about whether I should be going to the Devourer Below or choosing an alternative scenario, because I have very, very mixed, well, not even mixed feelings, very ambivalent feelings towards the Devourer Below. But I've come to thinking that if it can be tweaked, then it can be made into a much more fun scenario with some interesting fun dynamics in it, which I just need to work through and play test. I've been asking people about it, and they've been very generous with their thoughts. But I think we can come up with an awesome scenario that's a little bit different to the actual one. But anyway, that's for another day. But yes, here we are with Charlie Kane in the Midnight Masks. Now, if you are brand new to Arkham Horror, the card game, I would suggest that you go and play in real life, introductory videos, all that kind of thing, if you're brand new, because I'm assuming that you have played a little bit. But I also recognize that people come here to check out how investigators play and just see how they run true solo. So there's a nice focus there without it being a sort of a group game with multiple investigators. Some investigators are better true solo than others, no question. And we know that because depending on how they do, they end up in a league table like this one. Now, this is for season 2. This has all of the carryover points from season 1, and we can see that the top of the table has not changed. That's why I think we need a bit of a shake up in season 3. It's not changed. We've got the same people at the top. Yes, we have Roland Banks up there, we have Monterey Jack, and we have Leo, and they're still at the top. Very hard to shake them. They've done really well, and that's partly, I think, in part because the Gathering tends to be fairly easy for most investigators to do reasonably okay on, but the Midnight Masks really rewards action compression because it is such a fast and furious scenario. So anybody who has Leo DeLuca or some other effective action compression really gets a very significant advantage there, and we can see that in the league table. And of course, like any sport, there's also the way the investigators play on the day. You know, so they have their good days and they have their not so good days. So that is also, you know, an element of chaos that's in the league table. It's not a perfect representation of the performance of these investigators as true solo participants, but nevertheless, it's interesting to see. So yes, we're here with Charlie Kane, the politician, and I've actually had the privilege of steering Charlie Kane through a couple of scenarios. The blob that ate everything else, I used Charlie in that. I'm a big fan of the Charlie Kane and the way his abilities work. I think they're really great and a lot of fun to play. So if you're looking for a true solo character or even just a character to play in any scenario, I would recommend give Charlie a go. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through his card, and I would also recommend that if you haven't seen Charlie in Season 1, I would probably go back and see how he did there. Indeed, any of the investigators before looking at them in Season 2. Yes, we'll go through his card. Then we will go through his deck, which is a standard starter deck. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole deck this time because I did that last time. So we'll just be focusing on what's changed. If you want a more detailed breakdown of the starter deck, again, you can see that in Season 1. Okay, so let's have a look at Charlie. Charlie Kane, he's a politician, very Churchillian looking there. He's civic and socialite. And the first thing you can see is that Charlie is 1 on all stats. So immediately there's some shenanigans are going to have to go on if he's going to actually pass any tests, which we will talk about in a moment. The other thing is Charlie is colorless. So he's one of the very few investigators that's not aligned with a particular class. Lola being the other one. Is that the only two? I think they're the only two. Am I forgetting someone? Yeah. So it's a very rare class, and you will see why Charlie is colorless in that way in a second. So how does Charlie work in terms of special abilities and things? So first of all, you have 3 additional ally slots, which means you start the game with 4 ally slots. Yeah. So you can have 4 allies just in the normal game. So obviously choosing allies for Charlie's deck is a big piece of what you want to be doing if you're going to be playing Charlie. And you can see why, because there's a fast action, if you like, or a fast effect, which is during a skill test you are performing, you can exhaust an ally asset you control. And for this test, you get a +1 skill value plus an additional +1 for each skill icon that ally asset has that matches the test's type. So, I mean, that's all very wordy, but basically, if you were doing an investigation and you exhausted an ally, you would get +1. So immediately you would be a 2 book for that investigation. Now, if you also exhausted an ally with 2 book as well, that would give you an additional +2. So you would be 2, 3, 4. You'd be 4 book in that way. So so very handy from that perspective. So that's really how Charlie works. You're exhausting allies to pass tests, ideally. So you want a range of allies. You want allies that have different skill icons on them. Things like if you can find allies with with wildcard icons, that's going to be super helpful as well. I'm sure there are. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure that there are. So there are things like that. So it's making sure that you have those ways of doing that. So that's the key thing that you can do with Charlie to pass tests. So he is reliant on you getting out your allies early. If you don't get your allies in your hand and you don't get them down on the table, then you're really going to struggle. So Charlie can be a bit swingy that way, because if you just happen to not draw the allies that you need, then things could be quite difficult, because trying to pass tests at a 1 is going to be very hard. So sometimes that beginning part of the scenario can be a challenge in true solo. Now in multiplayer, less of an issue because Charlie can be a great all-rounder, and I've certainly found that. Can be fighting one moment, investigating another, and there's less pressure to be performing right out of the gates. So that's really good. So there we go. His Elder Sign effect is a +3, which is hefty. That's very hefty, and you can ready an ally asset at your location. So that's really good. It allows you to have that ally ready again, and the +3 is just fantastic. It can be arranged. It's just a matter of acceptable terms. Yes, that's Charlie. And he's 6 physical and 6 mental strength, which is fairly average, but to be honest, doesn't matter that much because a lot of the time Charlie is not going to be taking a lot of damage except direct damage because his allies can be soaking that up. I mean, if you've got multiple allies out, they can be soaking up all that damage. So even though it seems fairly average, it kind of doesn't matter with Charlie. He's got lots of allies to burn through anyway. So there we go. That's Charlie in a nutshell. If we just flip Charlie over and have a look at what's on the back. So standard deck size. Now at deck creation, you've got to choose 2 classes. Now we chose Guardian and Seeker. It really, again, very flexible, so you can be any 2, and it really is going to depend on the campaign that you're in. So I think for the Blob, I'm trying to remember, I think I might have been... Oh, I'm trying to remember, but I think I was Survivor Guardian, I think, or something like that. So if you are playing multiplayer, you've just got to sort of see what the others are playing and kind of align your class choices to that. But for true solo, the 2 key things that you need to be able to do are find clues and fight. So it makes sense to be Guardian, Seeker in those circumstances. The other thing is your deck building options are ally cards level 0 to 5. So you can choose any ally from any class, basically. All allies are available to you, which is really powerful. You can choose neutral cards, of course, 0 to 5, and then cards from your chosen classes level 0 to 2. Okay. So, it gives Charlie a huge amount of flexibility and choice from that perspective. Then we have some additional deck building requirements. We have Bonnie Walsh, which is our signature card. Our signature weakness is a burden of leadership, and I'll talk about those in a moment. This is Charlie's backstory. Charlie Kane promised the people of Arkham a safer future. He made a lot of promises: lower taxes, better schools, less crime. It was part of the job after all. And although he sometimes had to do things he wasn't proud of, Charlie always did work for the greater good. So when he started hearing the reports, he put the people first. Of course, he couldn't tell anyone. Widespread panic would not serve the public good. Besides, who'd believe him? Still, Charlie has always had connections in town. So he made a few calls, put a task force together, went to work. So there you go. And which aligns with Charlie's ability to align with all sorts of allies from all walks of life. He can leverage his connections to do that, which he does to great effect. So there we go. That's Charlie Kane in a nutshell. Great investigator. Really like it. So if we just look at the core cards here, his signature asset is actually an ally. And remember, you start with 3 additional ally slots. So you've got 4 ally slots. So Bonnie Walsh has... And I was talking about this before. Bonnie Walsh comes with 2 wildcard pips on the side. So just talking about wildcard pips. So that is really powerful because that allows you to use those to really pass tests really effectively, no matter what the test is. After you exhaust Bonnie Walsh, ready another ally asset you control. So it allows you to do that as well. Don't forget you have a 9 a.m. appointment with Mr. Sanford. Shall I book your usual table at La Bella Luna? Also, you bought me a wristwatch for my birthday. Thank you very much. So Charlie seems a little bit preoccupied there, looking at some kind of eldritch thing at the moment, but there we go. So that's Bonnie Walsh, and can soak 2/2. So yeah, really awesome ally. Then we have the Burden of Leadership, which is his signature weakness. It's a flaw, treachery, revelation. If you control no ally assets, shuffle Burden of Leadership back into your deck. Otherwise, for each ally asset you control, either exhaust it or deal it 1 direct damage and 1 direct horror. I tell myself it was for the greater good. Was it? Was it, Bonnie? So yeah, that's a pretty benign weakness, to be honest. It's not one of those weaknesses that can sometimes be good and terribly bad. I mean, basically, you're either exhausting ally assets or you deal them horror and damage. So yeah, usually most of the time that's not going to be particularly disastrous. I can imagine in some circumstances at the end of a scenario and you're trying to take out the big bad at the end and you're kind of, everybody's getting close to death, it could be really bad, but most of the time it's going to be fine. So that's Burden of Leadership. Our signature weakness is the classic hypochondria. After you take 1 or more damage, take a direct horror. So again, with allies on board, that's not going to be the end of the world. So there we go. Now we had 6 XP with which to spend. And so what we did was a couple of things, a kind of no-brainer with Charlie. And the first one was we brought out a charisma. So that gives us an additional ally slot. Maybe we're over-egging the sandwich a little bit, but you know, charisma has Charlie on it. So now that means we've got 5 ally slots, I believe that would be. 3 here, 4. Yeah, so we've got 5 ally slots. So we can have as many allies as we want on the table, which is good because we do have a lot of allies to put onto the table. We've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've actually got 6 potential allies we could have out on the table. So yeah, that means we can't have them all, but we could pretty much have most of them. Yeah, so just on that, I also added in Jean Beauregard, who's an intrepid explorer, ally, and wayfarer. Jean has accompanied Charlie on a number of the scenarios, and a really awesome investigator to have along for the ride. So has a intellect and a agility pip on the side, so you can use those to investigate. But importantly, you get a +1 intellect and a +1 agility as a permanent boost. So that's really awesome. And then Jen's reaction trigger is also really nice. During your turn, after you move to a location, exhaust Jean Beauregard. Was it Jeanne Beauregard? Anyway, move a clue or non-elite enemy from a connecting location to your location or vice versa. So moving things around. So really powerful ally. So yeah, real no-brainer to add Jean into the deck. It's a pity we can only put 1 in. And just to let you know, the other allies we have is the Beat Cop. We've got Dr. Malign Christopher. We also have Leo DeLuca, of course. So yeah, the main thing here is hopefully we can get Malign Christopher on the table. We can then use that as an economy engine for our physical training and hyper awareness, which means, you know, in that circumstance, we're kind of unstoppable because we will just be able to pass anything we want. That's the theory, anyway. Now we're not playing on taboo or anything like that. So we've got things like the machete in our hand and all that kind of thing. I'm not playing taboo. Investigator Games is hard enough as it is. So there we go. What do you think about that? Have you played any scenarios with Charlie? How do you find him? Interested to hear your thoughts. So let's close up and shuffle. Now, I had a chat to Charlie Kane in the trailer before we started today. Miskatonic trailers, mountains, sea or air, the Miskatonic trailers will always be there. There we go. If you're looking to go on holiday, you are looking to explore the wilderness or eldritch caverns underneath, Miskatonic trailers is an excellent way of ensuring you've got somewhere to go and regain your sanity before you then you go out again and face things that should not be known. So yes, had a chat to Charlie. He is delighted, actually, at the Investigator Games being held in Arkham. He was telling me that the economic boost to local businesses has been in the millions, apparently, because each time we do the Investigator Games in Arkham, there is the tourism sector, the number of people who come to town is, it's about a 20 or 30% boost in the population. Mars Boarding House, all the local hotels and things are all booked out. People buying food and, buying souvenirs. I saw the Investigator Games, that kind of thing. It really is been an incredible positive uplift for the town. Charlie's hoping, of course, with the Devourer below, that's going to also help the more rural counties and provinces around Arkham as well, because they also deserve a little bit of an economic boost. There's various farms and forests and various people living outside of town. So he's hoping that will help them as well. There's already been some bed and breakfasts and things opened in various places to accommodate that coming forward. So all in all, really, really positive. So I appreciate Charlie has been working tirelessly behind the scenes to promote the Investigator Games, and it's certainly paying off in that way. And we can see the crowds gathering around Arkham this morning to watch Charlie himself do the Investigator Games. So we'll see how he goes. Now, so all we need to do now, he's just wandering over at the house, inspecting the house, which still hasn't sold. You would think someone would have turned that into a bed and breakfast by now, what with all the tourists and everything, but not yet. So he's looking at that. And while we wait for the horn to go off, we will read the agenda and the act deck. So, Agenda 1A, Predator or Prey. Lita seems convinced of a conspiracy within the city of Arkham. She believes that a secret cult serves the ghouls that live in the crypts beneath the city, and that several of the cult's prominent members are scattered throughout Arkham. As you begin searching for them, you can't shake the feeling that you too are being hunted. Resign, don't want to risk taking too long. You head to safety with the information you have gathered. And Act 1. Here we go. Uncovering the conspiracy. You have one night to find the members of this cult and unveil their plan. The more members of the cult you can find and interrogate before midnight, the better. Investigators spend 2 clues per investigator as a group to draw the top card of the cultist deck. Find as many unique cultist enemies as you can and add them to the victory display. If there are 6 unique cultist enemies in the victory display, advance note, not all 6 of them are in the cultist deck. Yep, we are playing on standard difficulty, and we will... Oh, there it goes. There goes the horn. 2 victory signs from Charlie Kane as he responds to the crowd that gives a great big cheer. I do like his T-shirt, which has a picture of Cthulhu on it and winner. So we'll see whether that works or not. It's interesting. Usually see Charlie in his suit and tie and everything, but he's in his rather robust frame. He's in a T-shirt and shorts and running shoes. Looking a bit like Boris Johnson without the hair is probably the best way to describe him. Okay, so we are ready to start episode 53 of season 2 of the Investigator Games. Okay, so here we are. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Well, we want investigators. We want investigators and we want lots of them. So let's draw many. See what we get. Okay. We get none. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, you know what? I'm going to keep emergency cash for obvious reasons. And I'm going to chuck all the others in because without allies, there is no point playing. So we will draw another 4. Come on, where are the allies? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. No. How can this be? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, Charlie. Charlie's standing by the house. He was waiting for his allies to show up to start the game. And I can see the look of bewilderment on his face because there's none. There's none there. They've abandoned him in his time of need. How could they not turn up? Oh my goodness, this is terrible. What are we going to do? Oh dear. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yes. Wow. Okay. So that is a little bit of a problem. So we don't have any assets to play out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do things a little bit differently here. I am going to draw a card and gain a resource. So we will draw a card. We will gain a resource. We get a burden of leadership. If you have no ally assets, shuffle it back into your deck. Okay, yes, well, we are certainly, Charlie's feeling the burden of leadership right now because nobody has turned up, left him all to his own devices in the Investigator Games. I'm wondering about what's happened. Has there been some kind of social media kind of viral thing happened where, you know, Charlie's done something or said something and everybody's cancelled him or something? What's going on? Oh my goodness. So we can't do that again. We got 2 actions left. So let's go ahead and see if we can, oh my goodness. Let's see if we can get this clue. Well, we're a 1. And we can make it a 3. And if we pass this, we'll draw another card. So let's go ahead and investigate a 1 versus a 3. Sorry, a 2 versus a 3. What am I saying? 2 versus a 3. Chaos Bag gives us a +1. Oh my goodness. Yes, we found a clue. So we'll put the clue in here. And we get to draw a card and we get Hyper Awareness. What do we do with our last action? Do we move or do we bring something out like Hyper Awareness? Well, let's wait, shall we? Let's move. We got the clue, so or do we want to avail ourselves of the facilities again? I think that might be a good idea actually, because no. No, let's move. You can't hang around in the Midnight Masks. You need to keep moving. All right, there we go. We've moved up to Rivertown. So what a disastrous start for Charlie Kane. Our opening hand had no allies in it. None at all. We then drew our weakness, which of course we had no allies, which meant it went straight back into our deck. So we availed ourselves of the facilities and got nothing except an extra resource. We then successfully investigated with perception and we got to draw Hyper Awareness, and then we moved to Rivertown. So next time we can get another clue at least, and we can do that and see how we go. But not a great start for Charlie. Oh dear. Enemy phase, or yes, the enema phase as we call it. There are no enemies or enemas to speak of. So let's move into the upkeep phase. There we go. Better late than never, Leo. That at least gives us an extra action, and it gives us an investigation pip, so that's better than a kick in the pants. So there we go. All right, so we move into turn 2. The first Doom is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has, and the encounter deck has an Acolyte. Oh, what are we going to do here? Because we're not really in any position at the moment to fight. Because we are a 1 fight. Now we have a Vicious Blow, which would get us to a massive 2. But Leo DeLuca does not help us with fighting. So, oh, I wonder if there's a Mars boarding house at Southside. That might be the other thing that might be worthwhile doing. So I'm thinking, I think I'm going to take this one on the chin, I'm afraid, and put the Doom here, because there's no guarantee we're going to be able to fight anytime soon. We might just need to kind of go on a sort of a, to race the clock and try and get as many clues as we can. I don't know what we're going to do. Things are really, really not good. But let's put the Acolyte here. If we get some way of fighting better, then we'll, by all means, deal with it. But I think we're just going to have to deal with the extra Doom at the moment. So let's move into the investigation phase. 3 actions. On to Charlie. Right. What are we going to do? Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do is bring out good old Leo. So that's a no-brainer. There we go. So that gives us an extra action. So we lost an action, but we get an extra action. So we've still got 3 actions. Okay, that's the first thing. Yeah. So I think second action, let's try and get this clue. Yeah. So we're going to exhaust Leo, which means that we do, let's see, we're a 1, exhaust an ally. So that gives us a 2. And then we get a +1 because of that. So that's a 3. So that's a 3 versus a 1. Let's see how we go. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we succeed and we get that clue. That's great. So we've got 2 clues. So we've only taken 2 actions. We've still got 2 actions left. So I think the next thing to do is to spend the 2 clues and see who we get. Yeah, let's see who we get. Shuffle up the cultists. Let's see who we get. And we get Herman Collins. There we go. Herman Collins in the graveyard. So, yeah, I mean, that's good. We just discard 4 cards. So the thing about Herman Collins is usually he's a late game cultist. You would usually, unless your deck is set up to just get lots and lots of cards, you probably want to leave Herman Collins till later, simply because you don't want to be giving up all your cards at the beginning of the game, because that will set you back quite a bit. So I think we leave Herman Collins there for now, just sitting in the graveyard. I mean, remember, it's the Investigator game, so we're always looking for victory points. There's 2 easy victory points there, but let's leave it for now. So we've got 1 action left. So I think what we do is we go down here, and hopefully it is not the Hysterical Society, but it is Mars Boarding House. Let's see what we get. Please, 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 please. It's the Hysterical Society. No. Well, that's all right. That's okay. We can still draw some cards. But I was hoping we could actually have tutored up Zhen or something like that. But that's all right. It's still a helpful thing to do. So next time, let's get ourselves more cards. We might get an ally, which means, we can get moving. But yes, things are moving very slowly at the moment, and the game is already ahead of us more than we would have liked. Okay, so there we go. So our 4 actions were, we played Leo DeLuca, which was an action, but then we had 3 actions. We then investigated. We then got a clue. We then spent those clues and brought out Herman Collins, and then we moved to Southside. Okay, pretty good. Things are looking up. Upkeep phase. Yes, there's the Beat Cop. Well, that's good, because we do need to be able to fight. Okay, so the Beat Cop is awesome because we get a you know, a passive boost to our fight. And if we exhaust a beat cop, we get +2 to fight, so that gives us a lot of fighting. The only problem is, and I've realized that's the other thing that we really need, is like our runic axe or a machete or some other way of doing extra damage. But at the very least, if we have the beat cop out, we can go back and we can get rid of that acolyte, I guess, which means that at the very least, we're not carrying that extra doom, I guess. So there we go. Okay, so the allies are turning up. They're just turning up late. And yes, the beat cop. Oh, I can hear it on the traffic jam. Freeway. Oh, right. There's been a truck overturned on the freeway just before the turnoff to Arkham. So basically, that's why the allies are turning up late. They didn't mean to. Okay, these things happen. People don't always turn up when you need them to. How Leo managed to turn up as early as he did, who knows? That's anybody's guess. So that's why things have been a little bit slow from that perspective. Okay. Anyway, we move into the enemy phase. And then the upkeep phase. So there we go. We're in the upkeep phase. Let's move into the mythos phase. There are 3 doom of 6 already. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And the encounter deck has Wings of Darkness. Oh no, not Wings of Darkness. No, 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 no. Not now. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not so bad, actually. I'm thinking because this wasn't allowing us to get an ally, we got an ally. So actually, it's actually okay. It's actually okay. So test 4. If you fail, take a damage and horror, disengage, and go to a central location. Well, we are going to fail this. We're going to fail this. There's no way we're going to pass this. So let's go ahead and see what we draw. We get a -2, so we fail. So we take a damage and a horror. We can put the damage and the horror onto Leo. And we end up back here. Doink. So there we go. It's all happening. If nothing else, the crowd is getting quite a spectacle today of stuff going on. So there we go. We are back at central location. Okay, so we're in the investigation phase. 4 actions. On to Charlie. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do here? We've got a few choices here. I think we need to bring out the beat cop. I think that's a no-brainer. Because we're going to need the beat cop. Also, do we deal with this acolyte or do we leave it? So we've got 2 choices here. We could just leave it because I've put the acolyte in a bit of a dead end. Maybe I should have put the acolyte somewhere else. But our ability to investigate is still pretty limited because we're 2... 2, 3. So not great. So we need more things out. So I think we need to do that at the very least. So first action, let's play Emergency Cash, which is 3 resources. Second action, let's spend 4 of those resources and bring out the beat cop. Okay, that's our second ally on the table. So we're now at a 2 fight. Hold on. So what did we do? We played Emergency Cash and we played the beat cop. So we've still got 2 actions left. So now either we go and fight the acolyte. Yeah. So I'm just thinking about what we can do. There's a couple of things we could do. We go and fight the acolyte, or we could move back down to south side and draw 3 cards. See what we get. So it's whether we... Because the thing is, we go down and fight, we lose the rest of our turn, then we're sitting here at the house, and then we've got to sort of do stuff from there. I don't know whether it's better just to let it go and try and get ourselves more firepower, because I think we need to. So I'm going to actually move down, and then I'm going to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, look at this. Wow. Okay. So next time we can get ourselves set up with the runic axe, I think, would be the thing. Yeah. +1 damage, +1 damage. Yeah, I think that's what we do. Okay, we're slowly getting there, but yeah. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so what we did was we spent emergency cash, we brought out the beat cop, we moved to south side, and then we did the once per game, we drew 3 cards. Okay. So let's move into the enemy phase. Nothing happens with the enemies. They're just chilling there at the house and the graveyard. So move into upkeep. We get 2 runic axes. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Wow. This is good now because body wash will allow us to do all kinds of things. So yes, but it's going to be more of a resource issue than anything. Okay. Let's move into the Mythos phase 3, 4. Okay, 4 Doom is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. Oh, just can't get a break at the moment, can we? I nearly thought about getting out hyper awareness, but anyway. Okay. Oh man. Oh boy. Boy. Let's move into the investigation phase. 4 actions on to... Oh, not Doom. Feels like Doom. Let's 4 actions on to Charlie. Right, so we've got a Hunting Night Gaunt on us. So we've either got to fight this thing or evade this thing. The problem is we've got no weapons out to fight. And we don't have enough of the money as well to fight. What's our fight value? Well, we're currently at a 2 and the 3. Yeah, so we could... I don't want to use the Vicious Blow because I want to keep that for the... boy. Let's see if we can evade the Hunting Night Gaunt as our first action. It's a long shot, but you never know. So that gives us a 2. We can't use these. A 2 versus a 1. Chaos Bag gives us a 0. Oh, my goodness, we did it. So we've evaded the Hunting Night Gaunt. Second action, we will play Emergency Cash. So we'll give ourselves some cash. Whoops, 5. We've got 5. And third action, we bring out the Runic Axe. We've got 1 action left. We can't play Bonnie at the moment. It'd be great to get her out. So it's whether we take a swipe. Yeah, I think we take a swipe at this Night Gaunt. Let's do that. So let's use the Runic Axe of fight. You get +1 for the attack. Spend any number of charges. Now you get a charge back. So hopefully we just want the 1. So if we exhaust the beat cop, let's just work this out. So that's going to give us, we're already at a 2 fight because of the beat cop, but then that gives us an extra pip, right? Oh no, 2 because it's +1, and then so we get a 2, 3, 4. So we're at a 4 versus a 3. So we're at a 4 versus a 3, and we get +1 to the fight. So that's a 5 versus a 3. 5 versus 3. We're 2 up. So I think 2 up is okay. I don't want to start working these down, so I'm going to use 1 because you replenish it at the start of each round. So we want to do +1 damage. So we are 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 versus 3. And we're going to do +1 damage. Chaos Bag. 0. Yes, it is a 0. Yes, so we do 2 points of damage to the Hunting Knight Gaunt. Great. Okay, so there we go. That was a pretty good round. I mean, we're still spinning our wheels. We're not getting any cultists. We're not getting any victory points. However, we evaded it was a very lucky round. We evaded the Hunting Knight Gaunt, first of all. Then we used emergency cash. We then brought out the runic axe. And then we bashed the Hunting Knight Gaunt for a couple of points. So hopefully we can kill the Knight Gaunt next time. So there we go. Okay, let's move into the enemy phase. Nothing's happening. Upkeep. The Hunting Knight Gaunt is back. Everyone's back. Let's move into now there's 4-5. So this is going to flip, and we're going to have the Masked Hunter on us. Malign Christopher has now turned up. He's shaking his head. He's apologizing. His Volvo broke down in the middle of the traffic jam and all that kind of carry on. But we don't want to hear excuses now. We're in the middle of this. So anyway, yes. So let's see. That's the 4-5. So let's see what we get from the encounter deck. Place 2 Doom on the nearest cultist enemy. That doesn't actually matter now. So there's 3. It doesn't make the... yep, that's good. Okay, so we're way over. I mean, yeah, I guess we could take 2 actions, 3 actions to kill the Acolyte, but we could be doing something else with all of that time. So, and we've got to kill this Hunting Knight Gaunt, so it's better just to let it go. All right, let's move in to the investigation phase. 4 actions on to Charlie. First thing we're going to do is we're going to fight again. This has gone up to 4 again. That's good. I'm deliberately not using these cards because I know what's coming. So let's go ahead and fight. So we are going to fight the Hunting Knight Gaunt again. We're going to exhaust the beat cop. So again, we're looking at a 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will get +1 damage. So 5 versus a 3. 5 versus a 3. Do we? No, let's see how we go. Chaos Bag gives us a -1. So we succeed and we kill the Hunting Knight Gaunt. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Good. Now, what are we going to do now? So we've got a couple of choices here. We've got 3 actions left. It would be awesome to get Malign Christopher onto the table because that would give us a boost to our intellect. Bonnie Walsh is super handy though, because we can, for example, exhaust the beat cop. We can then use Bonnie Walsh and then bring the beat cop back, so we can do this kind of some of that. And I think, yeah, just at the moment, that's probably more important. So either we bring out Bonnie Walsh. The other alternative would be really not... we really need more ways to investigate, don't we? So I'm going to take a resource and then bring out Bonnie Walsh. So that's all of our resources gone. So we've now got 3 allies on the table. We've got 1 action left. We could either move or I could draw a card. I've already lost my weakness, so I might just draw a card and get another guts. That's not really what we wanted, but anyway. Okay, so that was a kind of a bit of a nothing turn. We're really kind of getting nowhere. But anyway, there's nothing we can do about that. So we got rid of the Hunting Knight Gaunt. We took a resource. We brought out Bonnie Walsh, and then we drew a card. So next time we're going to be fighting again. So hopefully we'll get some more fight cards. Enemy phase, nothing happens. Upkeep, we get a magnifying glass. So, well, I mean, the problem is magnifying glass is no good because we're using the runic axe at the moment. But that's okay. You know, we're in a good position to take on the Masked Hunter. Speaking of which, we move into the Mythos phase. There we go. All this doom is gone. There we go. That goes to 0. We'll flip that over.
Hello, Charlie. I heard you had some problems with your allies in the traffic. Oh, well, hello there. Beat Cop. Bonnie. What's that behind you? Rudy Cax. I've been thinking of donating to your cause. Vote 1, Charlie Kane. Make the streets safe again.
Yes, I know. The Mouse Hunter is a little bit worried. Anyway, we will see. Okay, so... oh dear, Agenda 2A. Time is running short. It certainly is. We've gotten nowhere fast. Minutes pass quickly. Resign. It goes. Okay, we better make these count. All right, that's the Mythos phase. But before we go any further, we've got to draw from the encounter deck. Another Acolyte. No. Okay. Where can we put this Acolyte? Let's just put this Acolyte at... yeah, here with a Doom on it. Yep. Okay. We can deal with that Acolyte. Okay, let's move into the investigation phase 4 actions. On to Charlie. Right, it's clobbering time. Okay, Mass Hunter. What are we going to do? We're going to fight the Mass Hunter, of course. Okay, right. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to exhaust the old Beat Cop. We're going to bring out the Vicious Blow. So what's that give us if we do that? So we're a 1, we're a 2. Well, we're already a 2, sorry. We're a 3, 4. Yeah. But we're also going to, so that's a 4, that's a 5. 5 on a 4. We want to do a +1 damage. Okay. But let's also spend another 1 and get +2. So that gives us a 7 on a 4. Let's make that an 8 on a 4. I really want to pass this. So let's just make sure we've done all of that right. Okay. So we start at 2 fight. We get an extra fight thing for exhausting an ally and the pip. So that gets us to 2, 3, 4. Then we've done this. So we're doing, you can get +1 for the attack. Oh, that's 5. 7. Oh, we've over-egged the sandwich. We didn't need to do that. So let's do that. Yeah, because I didn't realize you get +1. So 4, 5, 7, 8. We're 8 on a 4. We are 4 up, and we will do 3 points of damage if we succeed. Chaos Bag gives us a -2. We more than succeed. So we do 3 points of damage to the Masked Hunter. Ow! There we go. Okay. That was the first action. Second action, I'm going to fight again, but this time we're going to use Bonnie Walsh. So we're going to exhaust Bonnie. Now, Bonnie, so for this then, we get +1 skill value. So again, we are a 2, 3, 4, 5, because Bonnie Walsh has 2 wildcard assets. And again, we are going to... do we need to spend both? Oh, no, +2 health. So he's 6, isn't he? So yes, we will make that +2 and +1. 6, 8. That gives us an 8 on a 4. 8 on a 4. Chaos Bag gives us a +1, and we do another 2 points of damage. That's 5 now, and we've got to get to 6. So we're 1 away. So that was our second action. So I'm thinking, do we discard the Beat Cop and save our time? Or do we fight again for 1 point? I think we do. I think we just discard the Beat Cop and we kill the Mass Hunter, because speed and time is of the essence. And the Mars Hunter goes down, and the crowd goes wild. Yes, 2 victory points. And Charlie, yay, the beat cop does the final blow, but unfortunately knocked unconscious, and we lose the beat cop. But we've still got 2 actions left. So that's awesome. So what do we do with our 2 actions? We could move up to Miskatonic University. Can we... we're not really in a position now to... that's all right. There's no need for that. What we really need is some clues. Can't really bring out Malone Christopher at the moment. I'm going to take 2 resources so that we've got Malone Christopher next time, and then we can really get going on getting some stuff. Okay, so we killed the Mars Hunter with 2 actions, used all our charges on our runic axe. We then took 2 resources. Okay, so let's move into the enemy phase. Enemies are not doing anything. Let's move into upkeep, and we get another Leo DeLuca. We don't need, we've already got Leo DeLuca, but he's got, that's going to be handy from that perspective. Okay, let's move into the Mythos phase. First Doom of the second agenda is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has, and it's got Wizard of the Order. You are kidding me. Oh, man. Really? Again, we're just going to be spinning our wheels, just, dealing with the doom and not really getting anywhere. But anyway. Oh boy. Okay. All right, we will move into the investigation phase. 4 actions. Thank goodness we've got Leo DeLuca, because 4 actions. Okay, first action, let's bring out Milan Christopher. Okay, so we're now much stronger in terms of investigating. Second action, I'm going to move into St. Mary's Hospital. Yep. Third action, we're going to fight. Let's exhaust Bonnie. So here we go. So we don't get the +1 now that we've gotten rid of the beat cop. So we are 1, 2, 4. And then we can give it, and then we'll make that a +2. +1 damage. So we're 4 versus a 4, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 versus a 4, but we can make that a 5. We can make that a 6 versus a 4. Let's go ahead and do a 6 versus a 4. Yep. 6 versus 4, 2 up. Chaos Bag gives us a -2. So we succeed. We kill the Wizard of the Order, which is great. Unfortunately, we put another Doom onto the Acolyte. Okay. So, so we brought out Milan Christopher. We moved. We thought we've got 1 action left. We can't attack. So what do we do for our final action? Draw a card. Oh, Burden of Leadership. Not again. No. Exhaust. For each ally you control, exhaust it. All right, we'll just exhaust them. Otherwise, for each ally you control, either exhaust it or do... Yep. Okay. That's fine. All right. No big deal. Okay, we will move into the enemy phase. Nothing happens. We'll move into upkeep. Okay. There we go. Hyper awareness. Yeah, no problem. Let's move into the and Mythos phase 2 Doom. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And the encounter deck has locked door. Attach the location with the most clues. Well, it can be any of these locations. So let's just put the locked door here. Okay. All right. Let's move into the investigation phase 4 actions. On to Charlie. Okie dokie. All right. So, well, first thing we ought to do is deal with this pesky acolyte here. So we will move up and we will fight. What are we looking at? Let's exhaust Bonnie again. So Bonnie gives us a 2, a 4, and we can a 5, a 6, 7. Yeah, 7 on a 3. Chaos back. Oh, okay, hold on. Is that right? 7 on a 3. I think that's right. Let me just double check. So we start with 1 fight. We get an extra 1 for exhausting an ally, so that gives us 2 fight. Then Bonnie gives us an extra 2, which is 4. Then with the runic axe gives us a +1, which is a 5, and then we get another 2, 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. 3 on a 3, we kill the acolyte dead. Awesome. That's that action. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, Miskatonic University. Okay, now we need some more clues. Maybe I should have investigated St. Mary's Hospital, but it'd be good to get these clues. Now it's a 4. We are a 2. But if we exhaust Malign Christopher, we get... So we're a 2. That would make us a 3. That would make us a 4. 4 on a 4. 5 on a 4. 6 on a 4. So we can be a 6 on a 4. 6 on a 4. That's pretty good. Chaos Bag gives us another -4. Wow, 2 -4s in a row. So nope. Okay. Remove 4. We've still got 1 action left. Oh dear. Not really in a position to investigate again. So I think I'll draw a card. Okay. That was an okay round, but a bit disappointing. I mean, we managed to get rid of that acolyte, but I was hoping we could get these clues here, but we failed. So we've still got Herman Collins here, but, you know, and we could go and, in fact, we could go and get the victory point in Herman Collins straight away, but we've still got time. So it'd be good to get another ally out and a victory point here. So we'll give that a go next time. Enemy phase, nothing happens. Upkeep, we get overpower. I don't really need fight at the moment. I'm looking more for investigation things, but anyway. Let's move into the Mythos phase. Third Doom is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. If you have no clues, false lead gains surge. We have no clues. So we'll see what we get. And we get a locked door again. Ah, no. Locked door at Miskatonic. Okay, send to the back. Wow. Okay, we'll move into the investigation phase. 4 actions on to Charlie. Okay, we've got some choices here. We could break the locked door and then try and get these for the victory point. Or we could go to north side. I think that's a 3 shroud. But we don't get... Oh, we do get a victory point there. Yeah, so maybe that might be a better idea. Yeah, let's move up to north side. I'm pretty sure this is a victory point location. It is. It's only a 3 shroud. Okay, let's go ahead and investigate here. Let's Malign Christopher. Let's exhaust Malign Christopher. So we're investigating at a 2, 3, 4. So a 4 versus a 3. We can make that a 5 versus a 3. Let's see how we go. Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we succeed. We get a clue. We get a resource. Great. Let's investigate again with Bonnie. So we will exhaust Bonnie. And when we exhaust Bonnie, we can ready another ally asset. Okay. So we're talking about a 2, a 3, a 5. A 5 versus a 3 again. So a 5 versus a 3. Chaos Bag gives us a skull. And the skull is 0, I think, because there is... Oh, number of doom. There's no doom. So we succeed again. And we get the second clue. And we get a victory point, and the crowd goes wild. There we go. We'll put a victory point on there. And we get another resource. So we've now got 4 resources. Wow. Okay. Now, let me just make sure. So we started here. So we moved, investigated. We've got 1 action left. Now, we could throw in 2 clues. Now, we might get Virginia Devereaux, but the question is, if we did, we would just tank the damage. Doesn't matter. I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and throw in the clues, because time is of the essence now. Let's hope we get her, actually. That would be good. Let's shuffle this up. Who do we get? And we get Victoria Devereaux. Yes. Oh, hello, Charlie. Charles, how are you? I hope you like my skull. Oh, yeah, it's very nice. You got some money for me, or maybe you want to buy it? What do you think? Yes, I'm wearing human hair as clothing. Ah, terribly delightful. Anyway, so yes, so there we go. So we moved, we investigated, and then we got Virginia Devereaux, who right now is going to do a damage to us. We'll put the damage onto Bonnie. Yep, that's fine. And then we move into upkeep, and we get another Milan Christopher. And we have resources now that we can buy the skull from Victoria Devereaux. Very nice. Okay, let's move into the Mythos phase. 4 Doom of 8 down. Things are going okay. Things are starting to move in the right direction, which is great. But there's not a lot of time left, and it can so easily change, as it probably will now, with the encounter deck, and we get a another acolyte. Where do we put this acolyte? Well, we don't want this acolyte causing us any bother, so I'm going to put the acolyte here. We've got so much doom, haven't we? Okay. Let's move into the investigation phase. 4 actions. On to Charlie. First action, spend 5. Yep. And Victoria Devereaux goes into the victory display, and the crowd goes wild. There we go. Another victory point for us. That's great. Next action, we will move into Miskatonic University, and we will take on the acolyte. We will fight the acolyte. Here we go. So let's go ahead and exhaust Bonnie. So we are 1, 2, 4, and we can use this, so we can make that a 5, 7. 7 on a 3. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we kill the acolyte dead. And what I need to do now is I need to go and get the clues and Herman Collins, so we will now move towards here. So that will give us another 2 clues, and then hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll have enough time to go and get another cultist. So that's the plan. Okay, pretty good round. We started here. We parleyed with Virginia Devereaux. We then moved down to Miskatonic University. We fought the acolyte, and then we moved to Rivertown. So things are going much better now. Enemy phase, nothing is happening with the enemies. So we move into upkeep, and we get hypochondria. Okay. Take 1 or more damage, take a direct horror. Okay. Yes. Well, they're all out now. We've had all of our weaknesses. So we'll move into the Mythos phase. 5 of 8 down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And it has, you must either spend a clue or take 2 damage. Well, we have to take 2 damage. After you take 1 or more damage, take a horror. So we're going to take 2. Let's just take 2 damage. Oh, none of our allies can take the damage. So we can take the 2 damage. And Bonnie can take some horror. There we go. All right. Yeah. Okay. No problem. You can tank all of that. That's fine. Let's move into the investigation phase. 4 actions. Now, let me think about this. If we get another one of those, are we going to be able to tank it? Yes, we would be able to tank it. So I'm just going to, I don't want to waste time, to be honest. I really don't want to waste any more time. So let's hop into the graveyard. Yep. Now, when we hop into the graveyard, test 3. Okay. We are a 1, aren't we? Well, we could use Bonnie for that. But if we use Bonnie, what's the deal? Oh, we take another 2 horror. Investigating 1 versus 2. Yeah, I don't know. We've got lots of ways of dealing with horror, to be honest. So let's just throw in guts. So we're giving ourselves a 3 versus a 3. That's pretty low, but let's see what the Chaos Bag has. And it's got a tablet. So we fail. Place one of your clues on your location. We've got no clues, but we do fail. So we do take the 2 horror, right? You must either take 2 horror. So we will put a horror onto Milan. Lots of horror. Oh, lots of horror, and a horror onto Milan and a horror onto ourselves. That's fine. It's not if you take 1 or more damage. Okay. All right. So that was our first action. We've now got Herman Collins here. We will, second action, we will parley with Herman and get rid of 4 cards, is it? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And Herman Collins goes into the victory display, and the crowd goes wild as we have another cultist. Okay, we've still got 2 actions left, no cards, but what we will do is we'll investigate. Yes, we will investigate with Milan. Investigating with Milan. So that's a 2, a 3, a 4. So that gives us a 4 on a 1. 4 on a 1. Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we succeed. And we get ourselves a resource. And then we will use Bonnie. And we will exhaust Bonnie, which means we get Milan back. And we will 2, 4, 5. 5 versus a 1. Chaos Bag gives us another 0, and we succeed. We get 2 clues, and the crowd goes wild, so we get yet another victory point. Yay! Wow. Wow. Things have really turned around. So having Leo DeLuca makes a massive difference. Having all these allies, you can see once you get going, it's really, really great. So that was really awesome. We moved into the graveyard. Yeah, we took some damage. We parleyed with Herman Collins, and we got both of our clues, and we had victory points. So we are now looking at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 victory points for Charlie, and we have still got some time. Enemy phase, and enemies are doing nothing. Upkeep. Working a hunch. Discover a clue at your location. Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's probably not a thing we need right now, but this could be really handy, actually, because if we get, I forget his name, at Miskatonic University, Peter Warren, it might be actually super handy. But anyway, we shall see. All right, we will move into the Mythos phase. 6 of 8 now. Let's see what the encounter deck has. Crypt Chill. Okay, we've got Crypt Chill, test 4. Well, we can make that 2, 4. We can make it a 4 on a 4. That's probably worthwhile, I would have thought. Because otherwise we've got to lose something. I guess if we had to lose something, it would probably be the Runic Axe. But then we might need the Runic Axe if we get someone like Wolfman Drew. Let's exhaust Bonnie. Let's try and do it. So we'll exhaust Bonnie. So we get 1, 2, 4. 4 out of 4. 4 on a 4. Chaos Bat gives us a +1. Wow. Lucky. Whew. Okay. Investigation phase. 4 actions. Oops. Right. What are we going to do? Well, first action, let's throw in the clues. See who we get. For only 3 left. Shuffle, and we get Wolfman Drew. Ooh, okay. Wolfman Drew. So, I don't know that we're really... I mean, yeah, I guess... I don't know whether we're really in a position at the moment to... So either we can move up and prepare to try and kill Wolfman Drew. So what we could do is move and get these clues. So I'm just thinking 1, 2, clue, which we can get fast. Get another clue, move up to north side, get the 2 clues and finish with Peter Warren. That would be one way to do it. I think we could just about do that. The other alternative is move up, draw into some more cards, hope we get fight cards, and hope we get enough fight cards to then finish Wolfman Drew. But we would have to try and finish him, and we've lost the beat cop. And if we take damage from I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 actions to move to south side. Oh, hold on. Do we need it? Discover a clue at your location. Cannot be investigated. Well, we're not looking to investigate. 2 actions. We will spend 2. And we will, working a hunch, we'll get that clue. We started here. Oh yes, so we started at the graveyard. We spent 2 clues, and we brought out Wolfman Drew. Then we moved 2 locations, and we did a working hunt. So we've still got 1 action left. So let's move to St. Mary's Hospital. Okay, let's try and get this other clue next time, which we'll easily do. Working a hunch. Discover a clue, success. No, so we don't get that, unfortunately. Enemy phase, nothing happens. Upkeep, we get a machete. Okay. All right. Mythos phase, 7 down. We're literally down to the last action, I think, now. Let's see what the encounter deck has. Ah, another Crypt Chill. Now, this time... there's nothing we can do about it because, we don't have, so we're just, oh no, we can do Bonnie, sorry, we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, we could do that again. What would we lose? Oh boy, I really don't, I think that's really messed things up because I was thinking maybe we could fight Peter Warren. So we'd have to get this clue, which is a 2, and we are currently running at a 2. So we could make that a 4 on a 2 if we keep Milan. Okay, let's see what we get. We get a 0, but we still fail, so I think we're going to have to lose Milan. Yeah. Okay. That was really annoying. Investigation phase. 4 actions onto Charlie. First action, let's exhaust Leo. I don't think this is going to work, but anyway, let's exhaust Leo. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're a 3 on a 2. Let's see what the chaos bag gives us. It's a -2, so we fail that. Yeah. We're really in a place where we can't. Yeah, maybe we would have been better off fighting Wolfman Drew after all. We may have succeeded. Maybe. Don't know. Hard to know. But we've got 3 actions left, but there's just no way from here. I mean, we can try and get that clue with Bonnie. If we have 2 clues, then we can bring out another cultist, and we've got 2 actions left. Would that allow us to fight if we got Ruth? I'm just trying to think. Why don't we see? Why don't we do that? So let's exhaust Ruth, which means we unexhaust Leo. Okay. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on a 2. Chaos bag gives us a no. Fail again. One of your clues on your location. No. Okay, we've got 2 actions left. We're going to resign. There we go. We resign. The crowd goes wild. And wow, that was really a game of 2 halves. So the first half was just diabolical right from the start because of the traffic jam outside of Arkham. None of Charlie's allies were there to help him out at the very beginning. They did eventually start arriving, and once they'd all arrived, they arrived in time to take on the Masked Hunter. So that was the change, and then suddenly we had a flurry of activity. We managed to get some victory points at both Northside and the Graveyard. We managed to get Victoria Devereaux. We managed to get Herman Collins. But unfortunately, we just kept getting dogged by cultists were everywhere with Doom. I mean, it's only turn 13, and just a bit of extra time would have allowed us to get more cultists. Who would have been next? Ruth Turner, yeah. We just ran out of time. Don't know. Charlie was in the Graveyard. He made a split decision to try and get more clues, maybe to get Peter Warren or something like that. Maybe he would have been better going after Wolfman Drew. It's really hard to know, but he wasn't feeling the best, and he'd lost some of his allies. So yeah, it's one of those things: 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But still, lots of turn 13, and we've got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 victory points. That's a pretty good run. That will put him pretty high up the table. It could have been higher if his allies had gotten there on time, but that's the way that it goes in the Investigator Games. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, the Investigator Games will go on to a slight hiatus. No, not for very long. So it's just long enough for me to iron out and playtest how we're going to do the Devourer Below, and then either at the end of this year or the beginning of the new year, we will start the Devourer Below in earnest with Roland Banks, a brand new season. It's really exciting. I'm so stoked to be doing that. I never thought we'd get this far, but there we are. So yes, and like I said, really looking forward to starting season 3 shortly. Until then, I'm Krabby Terror 8. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.